Us recording. All right, guys, welcome. If you've never been to one of these webinars, thank you for coming. Thank you for investing the time to learn a little bit more about GSLI and our Elite Cities program. Hopefully, you can have some takeaways. And I really love what I'm doing. I started this company 31 years ago, and it's just been a blessing and helping communities increase their jobs is just uh, one of the most satisfying things we do here at GSLI. So hopefully we have some fun today and I don't take up too much time. Caressa knows I get a little winded or
Hmm.
talkative, and we're going to try to keep it somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. Hopefully we can keep it to 30. But what to expect today? I'm going to talk a little bit about the origin and how we founded, or how our members founded GSLI, some of the common challenges you guys face. I'm going to do a little role playing. I'm going to play like I'm your board and ask you a couple questions, and we're going to come up with and show you GSLI solutions. I do have, it is March. We have a special offer for those that have invested their time in spending with us today. So we'll be presenting that at the end. We've already got some good people participating in there. The way to participate is just throw something in the chat, ask a question. This is all about participation and answering your questions. So if you do, at the end we're going to do a little wheel, fun wheel, and you get a chance. If you want, we'll probably give away both. We'll give away a gift card and one of my signed books. I'll do an autograph signing for you and send it to you. It's pretty entertaining, and my feelings are not hurt if you don't choose the book. Cressa, let's put up the first poll. Want to make sure everybody that's here is here for the right reason. The first poll is, are you interested in increasing your community's pipeline with high qualified and active projects? Cress, there we go. All right, we are 100%. We've got yeses. Excellent. You're in the right place because that's what we're all about is increasing your community's pipeline of active projects with real projects that are going to be job creators. And whoever wins those, massive, massive. I think the minimum project we work with is about 1.5 million to $2 million of impact on a community. That's one of our qualifying factors. So the second question I have, and this has been an ongoing battle for economic developers across the country, but are you experiencing budget cuts or is your board demanding more and giving you less? Last time we had a couple no's, which was really exciting. All right, we got budget challenges, and don't feel left out. We have one that's come in now with no budget challenge, so that's great. And that's not, don't let that feel like your board is not believe in your community. Things are just, if not shrinking in terms of budgets. They just want you to get more out of your budgets. And that's really the whole purpose is us putting together our Elite Cities program. And I'd love to take credit on that, but we, the brainchild of our company was by economic developers for economic developers, or and it was started because of challenges on budgets. And so 30 years ago there were challenges, and there's still challenges. So we have an advisory board, and these great people that I work with are really the voice of how we grow and what we do. We always want to make sure we're growing from an developer's perspective. And we meet and we talk and we say, hey, are we doing it right? And are we investing the money that goes into our GSLI program properly? But the best analogy I can give, it, we were having the meeting, and this was when we started the company. And a guy stood up, and we started talking about what the best way to put together a program for lead generation. And he said, "You guys, this reminds me of a cookie jar. And I said, tell me, everybody kind of laughed. And I said, tell me the story. And he said, well, my wife and I were out shopping and we were not shopping for cookie jars, but she saw this beautiful cookie jar and it said fresh baked cookies. And being the salesperson she was, she walked over to me and she goes, you know, wouldn't that be amazing to have fresh cookies that you can eat every week? And I said, that would be amazing. So we weren't there for a cookie jar. We took it home. Sure enough, she basically started cooking. She threw on her apron. Not much of a cook, but a couple hours later, she filled it with fresh cookies. And then a week went by and the cookies started going out of the jar. And after week two, there were no cookies. And I kind of turned to her and I said, I thought you were going to bake fresh cookies. She goes, oh man, that is way too hard. And, but isn't the cookie jar beautiful? And so that thing still sits there empty. And that's what a lot of pipelines in economic development do. They sit there and the amount of work it takes to do prospect generation takes up so much time. So what we put together is a fresh baked cookie jar that automatically fills itself. Every week, our communities, they log in, they get alerts and they say, here's a fresh cookie. Take a look at it. If you want to eat it, take it on, do a submission. If you don't worry. We're going to keep those projects filling in your jar. And better yet, you can put your own projects in there as a CRM. So that's the best analogy I can give is projects. Our project portal is that fresh baked cookie jar, and our qualified project leads, which we give every week, are the fresh baked cookies. Um, Want to start here. I have a couple, and this might be too loud. Tell me if it is or isn't, but I'm going to play a couple testimonials. These are actual elite members, and here's a viewpoint from them.
I think with all the technology that's come about, and it's great, but the reality is that deals are done based upon relationships. And so an example of that would be last night we had a VIP event, and I attended, met a gentleman, and then here at the trade show, he was working with a client who was very interested in coming to the West Coast and introduced me to him. And we are now setting up times to meet, not only here in the United States, but in the country where he's from. And that's just an example of how quick things can happen face to face. And GSLI created the opportunity for us, invited the right people, and I think we might have a winner out of it.
That's Tim Kelly. He's been with us for over 10 years. And here's Logan Bruni, one of our.
Hi, my name is Logan Bruni. I'm with the City of Delaware, Ohio Economic Development Department, and we have been with GSLI as an elite city for about a year now. We joined GSLI to expand the amount of leads that we were able to get so that we could have a larger amount of projects to be able to look at and potentially bring into our area. What I like most is being able to really interact with the employees and members of GSLI, their hands-on help with anything from submitting projects and our website, and being able to come to these trade shows and have a really wonderful time has been a fantastic resource for us in getting out and doing more in a more active sense for economic development and business outreach. And I think we would absolutely recommend them. We've had a wonderful experience, and we hope to continue our partnership.
All right. Melissa, I see that you posted up in the chat. You're hearing a little echo. Did you get that fixed? Because I know that can be irritating. If not, just if so, let me know. And I want to make sure you're taken care of. But doesn't work. Those are just two of our testimonials. You can go to our website. You can listen to tons. I don't think there's any company right there in this industry that gets more testimonials. We appreciate those testimonials, and we brag about them. That's our best compliment and how we know we're doing things right. So I encourage you to go to our testimonials page, take a listen. Um, and the other thing that we do, and we've grown because through the years, as we develop and get more Elite City members, we have provided more services. So we do a ton of economic development websites. I see Cindy on here. whenever she was in Wyoming. We put together her website. Cindy, what was that, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? And we have your testimonial somewhere on the website development. But we also do video production, we do branding, we do flyers. We just did ones for uh, Cummings, and we do trade show exhibitions, which you can attend with us for free. Those are huge cost savings for you, and we do AI lead generation. We are one of the leaders in terms of using AI to do your work. So increasing your capacity without increasing the number of employees you need. Uh, Excited. I see Francis is on here today. Francis is, we opened up an Asian Pacific office. Francis has worked with over 1,200 companies in the Asian Pacific market. Um, Learn about their company's expansions for 9.5 years. And we thought that would be an excellent opportunity for us to provide help if communities are traveling overseas or if just they want to get their information. So we're trying to get a head start on any of those companies that are looking into the U.S. And we do a really good job. I would say 20 to 30% of our project leads come from overseas. This is a picture of our network. This is live, and you can see it on our website. You can go in, click, see who are other members. You can reach out to them, talk to them, ask them questions. But this is growing, and one of the important things here is uh, we maximize each state by only allowing 5 members to participate. So those are seats. And so we try to have a balanced perspective of who we bring on. We want to make sure that they're qualified, that they'll represent the Elite Cities Network good whenever they're submitting on projects and can actually get them to the finish line. And it's all about winning projects. Here's a list of our growing active network. And a lot of people say that's great, but do you have success? These are some of the companies, and these are actual projects that we identified and have landed. Down on or in the middle is one of the largest Latin America projects that landed in Texas. It's a 500,000 square foot build to suit building. That took us 3.5 years to work on that project. And that's what we do. We stay with them until they land. And Wallbox up in the top left corner, that was a fun project. They gave us 3 weeks to land, and we found them a site, and we actually got them incentives within that 3 week period. So one of our pride and joys. But we work with large companies, we work with small companies, but the minimum size is 10 employees. They need to secure at least 10,000 square feet of space. They need to make a decision within 18 months, and they need to a site location decision. They need to be making a site choice that's outside of a 50-mile radius of their current location. They're not just adding space to their current facility. These are some of the job creators or landed projects. You can go into our portal and go to our archive and put landed on the filter, and you can see all of our landed projects and where they located. Poll. This is want to see who has attended one of our prospect lives.
Oh, you threw this one out here at me. Give me 1 second. I'm getting it up for you.
These are probably our flagship. These we bring the projects. We just had one a couple weeks ago with this company from Australia, and it's an opportunity for you to come in and really learn and tap into the mind of what that project's looking for to make sure it's right for you, but ask questions and find out if the project's a good fit for you. Okay, good. Got some people that have been to a couple. We've
Oh, half
one,
and half.
and yeah, half and half.
Who have been and who haven't.
Well, if you haven't, make sure that you do. In fact, go into the portal. I would recommend that you go and listen to that last Prospect Live. It's Project USA Illumination. We are taking submissions right now. I've toured some buildings with him. He's going to be back in the US at the end of this month, and we'll be sitting down and going through the submissions with him and really putting together a short list for him to consider. So that's an exciting project that you guys should definitely jump on, and one that we're tied in very closely with. All right. I said I was going to board role play, and this is kind of one of those challenges. I experience boards of all types over the past 31 years. I've had very pro business, I've had very conservative boards, but I want to take this opportunity to say, hey, I'm your board, and these are the initiatives I need you to do this year. I need you to launch a campaign with a media mix with at least 5 lead generation pillars. I need you to exhibit and receive project leads from 6 national trade shows. I need you to hire an intern to qualify leads, because I'm not paying you to qualify leads. I'm paying you to work leads. And I want you to hire a consultant to make sure that on a monthly basis, you are making submissions properly and with the proper strategies behind those submissions. I want you to invest in a CRM to track your projects and provide reports. I need you to distribute national press releases to get your story out about our community. And I want you to promote the city on social media to further build your brand. I need you to wear a ton of hats. I need you to do all this. And I want you in the chat over there. How much would you ask the board to budget you to accomplish all of that in 1 year?
Quick reminder, anybody who participates in the chat gets put in our wheel of names for a giveaway at the end of this lovely webinar. So please put your answers in the chat.
We've gotten so many different options on this. I'm just curious in terms of your thoughts. What would you go ask your board to budget?
There's no wrong answer
Yeah,
or right answer for that matter.
typically it's anywhere. I mean, we get answers of 25,000. Oh, 25,000, Cindy, up to 60,000, up to 80,000. Just the trade shows alone, um, they average about 12,000 per show. So just to give you an idea, but what if your board came back and said, Cindy or whoever, I need you to do this for less than $10,000. You're probably going to resign. You're going to say, there is no way, that's too much. I can't do all of that on my own, and that is not enough budget. And you want me to go get a multi-million-dollar project for my community and give me less than $10,000? So I'm going to tell you, you can. With our GSLI network, we started, just to give a little background, when formed it, we formed it at $50,000 per seat per state. And so we did that for about 5 years, and it was very successful. But what we found is the projects weren't getting down to the smaller communities. They were going to the larger communities. We weren't getting a balance of submissions for the projects, and they weren't happy. So what we said is we were going to divide it by 5 and divide that cost so that more communities and a balanced perspective from each state could be presented. And that's why we came back, and we can do this all for under $9,000. This is my favorite part. Cresta is my superwoman in the office. Cresta, if you could take over the screen, let's go in and do a little kind of show them the portal and the power of the portal and really what they would get, and
Absolutely.
how
Give
they
me
can
just.
instantly 10x their projects.
All right. Can everybody see my screen okay?
We can.
Wonderful.
Cresta,
Oh,
Cressa, you've come into the portal, and it looks like you're at the welcome screen now. Your board just asked, why don't you go take a look? How do you find projects?
Find projects. Well, that's a simple one. Either right here at the very top, there's a browse projects portion, or when you first log in, it's going to give you some handy buttons to get you to the place that you want to go. So we'll just go ahead and click the browse projects button there. And here we are at projects.
Yeah, if you might, since we talked about Project USA Illumination, why don't we scroll down,
Or use our handy dandy search
or
button.
you can search for it.
Boom.
So awesome. I like USA Illumination. I see there's a prospect live that I can click on and watch, but what if I want to find out more information? How do I get more information on that project?
Absolutely. So to find out more information, you're simply going to click on the project name. You can also click to the right to enter the project report. So either way will take you in here where you'll have a project overview, any states or regions of interest, some special requirements of the project, and a little bit of information about the company, as well as a few other things you can do in here. I don't want to go too far in case you have a question for me.
Oh, excellent. I love it. But I need a question answered before I make my submission. How do I ask a question? Or do you allow me to ask a question?
Sure. So over here on the right and or the left, excuse me, I'm backwards today. Over here on the left inside any project report is this orange box. And if it's someone has already asked a question, it'll say you can view the questions here, which is where you would ask your question as well, or you can be the first to ask a question. And it's going to take you right in here where you can submit your question. And that's going to go directly to our project director, Ashley, so she can get an answer for you from the project.
Excellent. So I love it. I've got my answers. I want to do a submission. First of all, I want to put it in my pipeline so I don't see all the other leads that I don't want to work. How do I put it in my pipeline?
Putting it in your pipeline is super easy. So there's a couple different ways. The first one is going to be in here when you're inside. I actually already have it in my pipeline, so I'm going to remove it. But usually what you'll see is this little funnel here, and you'll just click that, and then it's going to fly up here and add to your pipeline. So uh, the other way is going to be from the Browse Projects page. There is a funnel right here on the front page, and you can easily click that, and it's actually going to show you as it flies in there. If you choose not to work that project, just click it again, and it will remove it.
Excellent. So it's in my pipeline and I'm focused on just my project so I can print that for a report to show my board who's all in my pipeline. I want to make a submission and I know submissions are a pain. They take, anywhere from 6 hours to 2 days to make a submission. How do
They
you
do.
make a submission?
Okay, so we try and keep submitting as simple as possible. First off, you'll notice there's a little submit button right here on the left. So if you just click that, it's going to take you into our initial RFI submission form. Um, Now, this form, we've packed in some new features. It's brand new, updated. We just redid it less than a month ago. It was released. So we are still taking any feedback that we get on this one. But pretty much you're going to come in here. And just like any other submission form, of course, they're going to ask a bunch of questions in regards to your community. So in this section, it asks you for a cover letter. But we've done some really cool stuff where we have added in some AI assistance. So if you want an AI assistant to assist you with your cover letter, you're going to click that link and it's going to take you to ChatGPT. You do need a paid ChatGPT account to get the best results for this, but it will take you in, ask you the questions it needs, have you upload the project report and your community website, and it will create, I guess I'll say, a first version of your cover letter for you. But same thing as you scroll down through, it's going to ask all of those basic questions. One thing I do want to mention is that if you've ever filled out the form before, your answer does remain here. So it's not quite like a sticky field, but your answer is always going to be an option here if you have already completed the form. So this first one is going to take a little bit of time. It does have a lot of questions. But after that, they're going to be a lot quicker and easier because that information will already be saved in there. But I do want to point out a couple more of those AI work-ins. This is all about your workforce, and a lot of this information changes and is ever changing, and you're having to look it up a lot. But Eric has added in a workforce chat GPT, and it is amazing. It literally will chart out all of this information for you. So you're going to give it some basic request of information that it asks you for. And then based on that, it's going to go out, do its searching. You're going to give it the parameters. Do I want this to be like a city search or a 60-mile search or a region search? And then it's going to go out and fill in or get all that workforce information for you to fill in.
Yeah, correct.
Obvious. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, obviously, same kind of section here, all the rail, the port. Again, we have another AI assistant there to assist you in getting all that information in.
Yeah, and one thing that I don't like is I get a lot of leads from my state, and I'll work hard and I'll put together a submission, and sometimes I don't get any feedback, and sometimes that project just goes cold on the state or goes dormant. Do I ever get the contact information so I can reach out to the project directly?
Absolutely. So, um, let me let me switch modes here and show you guys a little something in my pipeline. Um, so we are reaching out to the companies consistently to get updates on projects. So if there's ever a stretch where we've reached out for 45 to 60 days consistently and we are not receiving any feedback, any communication, all lines have stopped, then we will absolutely release the contact information with a few caveats, if you will. You must have added that project to your pipeline and submitted on the project because we don't want to release that information to everybody and just have a field day for that company. But we want any communities that already showed their interest in that project to be able to follow up and check on things or try to restart the conversation. So I'm going to scroll down here. Um, that's an internal project. I'm trying to find an actual real project and not one I added. Perfect. So, custom cannabinoid, which was a project, believe it or not. Um, I submitted on that one in the portal. I've added it to my pipeline. And you can see there's a little phone here. And so what that means is that we have released that contact information. So now when I click into the project, there's a new tab here that wasn't appearing earlier that says contact. And when I click on that, I can easily see the company name, the contact name, an email address, and phone number, or whatever means we had that we were communicating with them. So you can then follow up on your own submissions or restart that conversation.
Excellent. So, it's not all about leads. I like to get, some basic training. Do you offer that at all?
Absolutely. So, for our clients, every second and fourth Tuesday, we do what we call a jam session. And that's where we're going to give you kind of any updates on what we're up to on your behalf. So, trade shows, those kind of events, any meetings with companies, that kind of fun stuff. But we're also going to do some training. So, in each of these jam sessions, we're going to cover some type of training. Recently, it's been AI for economic development, has kind of been our series that we've been doing. And so, a couple different ways you can see this. You can view it live the second and fourth Tuesday at 11 a.m. Or if you miss it, you can go and see the entire jam session here, which is where we talk about those updates, that training, and also a project. Or, and you can watch it directly from here inside your member account. Or if you just don't have time and you want to look for the training that you need to find, you can come right here to our Jam Academy and you can search really any topic and see if we have some training on it. What would you like some training on, Eric?
Let's say social media because they want me to be a social media expert.
All right, so we come here and we can see that there is have AI create your social media post in seconds and how use AI to help develop your social media, and that's for your strategy.
Excellent. So my board also said I needed to get some leads from trade shows. What if I want to attend a trade show?
Absolutely. So every September, we send out a survey to all of our clients to see what trade shows are of interest, which ones they like that we attended last year, if there's any that are on their radar, or any industries they're really trying to attract. And then, based on that information, we create our trade show tour for the following year. Um, and we house it here for you guys to see the shows that we're going to. We've already done MD&M this year, but we've got four more really great shows, a couple of manufacturing, one food show, one foreign investment, right? So a lot of good, and we've already done a medical and packaging show. So a lot of different variety in the industries. And you can attend with us at no cost. And it's really simple. If you're interested in attending any of our shows, you can just click this link and fill out a form, and then we'll reach out to you to see what needs to be done to get you ready for the show.
Excellent. Last, and there's so much more in this portal.
So
How
much more.
about a dashboard? Like
Absolutely.
I need to show my board what's happening.
Absolutely. So right next to my name up here, or the bot's name, is a little pull-out menu, and the very first item is the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is really going to give you access to anything that you've seen on the menus at the top of the screen, but it's also going to be a great place to just check into any of the jam sessions or the boot camp, to see any submissions you might have put in, or get back to any project you might have been taking a look at, or any of your own internal projects.
Excellent. Well, that's thank you, Krista. I'm going to try to take back over, or if you could
Absolutely.
stop share, I will. All right. So one question you might be asking, what can I expect? Everything. Whenever someone's a GSLI Elite City member, there's a proper onboarding. Um, People want to know what the investment is. This has not changed in 30 years. We've kept it consistent. Um, the reason why, because the more members we have, the more opportunities we have. So instead of increasing the price, we just continue to add members into our Elite network. There are two prices. Very simple. They both offer everything in our system. There's a starter package for 49.50 and there's an elite package for 8,500. And that is an annual investment. We take that money and we put it with everybody else's money. And that's how we fund an over $500,000 marketing campaign to go out and generate your leads. If you join, you can expect the following. We do a white glove onboarding. Caresta will be taking you through training, showing you how to use the portal, answering any questions you have. She'll have you fill out a press release form that we'll put together for you that you can release and let your community know that you are aggressively working and attracting companies to the community. You'll then get a call from a coach, which will serve as your consultant every month, and they'll have a standing meeting with you. I always say pick a consistent day. These meetings are to educate them. What are your opportunities? What are your assets? What are the things that you're looking for in your community? And they're there to keep tabs on the projects that you've submitted on. When they are in our monthly or our weekly meetings, they want to know when we present a project for them to call you and say, hey, this is a project you need to submit on and be on. So they are your employee. They are an extension of your staff, and they need to be as smart as someone that works personally with you on your community. So they can represent you, they can talk to projects about you, and know when you should submit. You get instant access to the project portal with real-time project and alert updates, and you get email reminders of everything. When we have jam sessions, prospect live, submission deadlines, upcoming trade shows, you'll receive those alerts. If you have any questions, everybody's been pretty good, and usually we don't have a lot of questions. If you do, feel free to throw them up in the chat. I'm going to try to wind this up because I do have a special offer that I said. If we're doing, we do something called a community assessment. That helps us understand kind of a baseline where you're at. It's also a great assessment for you to take just to be a refresher and see how ready your community is to do prospect attraction. If you fill it out and send it back, that's going to unlock basically a free offer. It's worth $5,000. But we will, from day one, if you join, open up the portal for the last 6 months. What that means is you can go in and see which projects are still active and perfect. So on day one, you can report back to your board and say, hey, we've already got 3 projects in our pipeline and we're submitting on them and we're getting in front of them. We will also do a free marketing assessment. I'll do one with you where we can dive in and kind of really take a look how effectively your budget is being spent on what best practices, what all of our communities are doing to be effective in their marketing. We're
Eric,
also going to do,
Eric,
yeah.
Selma is asking, are the leads mostly big companies slash manufacturers, or can they also be smaller companies?
So the qualifying factor is they need to at least have 10 employees or need 10 employees. They need at least 10,000 square foot of space, and they need to be making a decision in less than 18 months and doing that outside of a 50-mile radius. So that's how we agree to work for those companies for free because they're going to make a significant impact on your community. Our average company that we're working right now is about 25 to 50,000 square foot of space. We do have projects upwards of 3 to 400,000 square foot of space. Those I would say are less than 10%. But our sweet spot is small to medium sized companies. And that's just the way of the economy right now. During the pandemic, I will tell you, every project was over 300,000 square feet. Like it was, we know why, because a lot of the smaller companies were going out of business. They were struggling, and the bigger companies were just consuming them and doing major expansions. And a lot of our communities really couldn't help them. They were limited on buildings and assets. So they right now it's a prime time from our projects from a size standpoint. And hopefully that answered your question, Selma.
Richard is asking, is there a limit on the number of staff that can access the portal? I'll answer this one if it's
There you
okay.
go.
Awesome. Richard, so right now we have it set up where there's only one account for submissions. However, everybody can sign on, create a guest account, and see all of the information. So if you want to have somebody who's combing through the leads to find you the best lead, just the submissions would come from one. We are working on doing multi-users for one account. However, right now we just want to keep all that information together for ROI reporting, etc. But it is something that we are working on. Is that a good answer, Eric? Did I, did
Yeah.
I say that one
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. Yeah, we want the submission coming from one point of contact because that's how we get the submissions to the projects in a efficient way. But they could also you could have anybody log in under your account. If you have the account, someone in yours, or like Caressa said, they can create a free account. They just couldn't do a submission from that.
They can also leave notes in there. So what we've had people doing that have multiple people that will be working within the portal is they just create an account with a generic password tied to the most important person's email. Well, I won't say most important person, but for those leads, the most important person's email. And then that way anybody can go in and when we do have notes on there, so you're able to leave a note with like your initials or your name, just so anybody who comes in next can see exactly what's gone on prior to you.
Yeah, and also, if that answered your question, I hope it did. All right, thank you.
It did.
So this also is in this offer for you taking the time to learn about us today and struggle through this webinar. We appreciate it. I'm also going to do a podcast. I'm going to offer that. The number one reason people are challenged a lot of times, their story's not getting out. So it's an opportunity to spend 30 minutes with me on one of my podcasts, Community Connection, they go on our website of Global Trade Mag or globaltrademag.com. It also goes on iTunes, SoundCloud. There's about five.
Amazon,
Yeah.
Apple.
And so it's an opportunity for you to tell your story, and we just do it in a Q&A format, and they're a lot of fun. But we have communities that pay $3,900 for those. We're going to offer that as a bonus. So, Chris, I think this is where we put up. If you want to receive the community assessment, we'll send it to you. And all that does is doesn't say you're joining, it doesn't do anything. It unlocks this offer that we'll see that you completed that community assessment, and that will provide you all of these bonuses um, uh,
When you sign up.
when you become one of our elite cities. I'll leave that up for just a second because I'm going to try to wind this up in our 45 minutes. Cresta, do you have, if you have not said anything, now's your opportunity to put something in the chat. We're going to do the small giveaway. They're always kind of fun.
I got everybody so far that said anything on
All
the wheel. Okay.
all right. I'm going to end this poll also on the community assessment. And all right, we are down. So, Cresta, if you can take over the uh, Cindy, if you've already completed it because you've been working with one of our coaches, no problem. I'll make a note to put that on there. So if you take over the,
Uh,
there you go.
it's a little bit crazy here. There we go. Can everybody see the wheel of names?
We can.
All right, I got a bunch of fun people on here today, ready to go. We're going to go ahead and give it a spin. Good luck. I had to add it in. So fun.
We know Selma left for her meeting.
No,
So,
Selma's still here. It was
oh, she is?
Melissa that left for her meeting.
Oh, okay. Selma, which would you like? Would you like the Amazon gift card or would you want a signed book? All right, Selma, I'll reach out to you and we'll get a copy of the book to you. Let's do the second giveaway. This will be for the Amazon gift card. All right, Cindy,
That
you
was a
will
lot.
you'll get the Amazon gift card emailed to you right after we get off this. If you could throw your we've got your email address, don't we?
Yeah, we've got
I'm
Cindy
sure we
on.
do. All right.
Mhm.
So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your attending. If you did request the community assessment, we will reach out to you and get that to you immediately. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's very eye-opening, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Whether or not you become a part of our elite cities or not, please continue to do what you do. You are so valuable to the growth of our country, and we appreciate what you do for your cities. And thank you for taking the time. I'm going to get out of here 1 minute early, Caresta, so I kept on time. But
We'll
thanks
find a way to
again.
take the last minute.
Thanks again, and we appreciate y'all. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.